A lot of guys go through life thinking that getting ahead is all about luck, like it's some door that someone else needs to open for them or just a twist of fate. They keep looking outside when the real treasure is hiding within. You see, money, just like life, isn't driven by chance. It's all about having a system in place. I learned that lesson a bit too late myself. I spent years chasing after opportunities, not realizing that it wasn't the world that needed to change. It was me. Money, abundance, and stability don't just happen randomly. They come from discipline. They're the offspring of character, commitment, and clarity. That realization, while so straightforward yet painful, changed me because I figured out it's not about grinding harder, but working with purpose. It's not about having more, but about becoming more. Money doesn't respond to the desperation of someone who's chasing it like a beggar. It responds to the calm of someone who lives with intention. Money doesn't chase after the dreamer who talks about abundance without taking action. It seeks out the person who follows through on their promises, even when no one is watching. You see, money has a quiet nature. It moves with purpose, values consistency, and steers clear of chaos. It doesn't care how much you talk about your plans. What truly matters is how you spend your time. You can say 1,000 times that you're going to thrive, but if your actions don't match your words, the universe gets the message that you're not quite ready yet. On the other hand, discipline is like a prayer that doesn't need any words. Every time you wake up early, keep your commitments, save instead of spend, or choose to learn rather than get distracted, you're telling life, I'm ready for more. And then something almost magical happens. It's no longer you chasing after money. It's money that starts seeking you out. Because wealth isn't a reward, it's a result. And that result always comes from the same source: excellence. Excellence isn't something that just happens. It's built piece by piece, day in and day out, through the patient repetition of what's right. There's no secret, no hidden formulas, just consistency and discipline. Yet, surprisingly, not many grasp this concept. A lot of folks remain stuck in the same mental trap. They think, once I have more, then I'll change. Or, when I earn more, then I'll save. Or even, when I have some free time, then I'll study. But that when never comes, because abundance doesn't show up just by waiting for perfect conditions. It comes when you make the most of what you already have. If you can't manage 100, you'll never manage 1,000. If you can't grow the small things, you'll never grow the big things, because discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you achieve. Every penny you save, every expense you keep in check, every hour you make the most of is a quiet statement of responsibility. And the universe, which always pays more attention to your actions than your words, responds with more opportunities, greater clarity, and increased abundance. A lot of guys, though, spend their lives battling with their own reflection, blaming the economy, the government, luck, and everyone else, without realizing that the real foe isn't out there, but rather the chaos within. Money doesn't just vanish, it simply drifts away from those who push it away with their habits and inevitably gravitates towards those who attract it with their order. Picture your life as a house. Each habit is like a brick. Every choice is a foundation. If you build without a plan, without measurements, without care, the roof will collapse at the first gust of wind. But if you construct with intention, if you learn to manage the small things, when the big opportunities come, you'll be ready to hold on to them. Money seeks shelter with those who know how to handle it, because money, like a river, doesn't flow into chaos. It flows towards a channel that has shape, direction, and purpose. So don't ask yourself how much you need. Instead, ask yourself where you're squandering what you already have. In distractions, in excuses, in desires without action. El dinero no se oculta, simplemente se aleja de los lugares donde hay caos. Y cuando decides vivir con orden, con intención y con control, tu vida se transforma en un imán. Porque la abundancia habla un solo idioma, el del orden. Un tipo que valora su tiempo, que cumple con su palabra y que controla sus impulsos, envía un mensaje claro al mundo: puedo manejar más. Y el dinero, callado pero astuto, responde: así que te seguiré. Así es como la riqueza se convierte en tu compañera de viaje. No es un trofeo inalcanzable, no se trata de suerte, se trata de hábitos. No necesitas conexiones, necesitas ser coherente. El dinero no transforma a las personas, solo revela quiénes eran en realidad. Si hoy eres desorganizado con lo poco, mañana lo serás con lo mucho. Pero si hoy eres disciplinado con lo mínimo, el universo te confiará lo máximo, porque la verdadera prosperidad no se mide en números, se mide en carácter. Y el carácter se forja en esos momentos en que nadie te observa. Cuando decides guardar dinero sin hacer ruido, cuando estudias mientras otros se relajan, cuando cumples tus promesas, aunque nadie te lo reconozca. Ese es el momento en que uno se convierte en su propio pilar. Y aquí es donde arranca el primer principio de la abundancia. El dinero sigue al orden, y el orden comienza contigo. Hay una verdad que es difícil de tragar. El dinero no transforma a las personas, simplemente amplifica lo que ya son. Si eres organizado, multiplicará tu organización. Si eres desordenado, aumentará tu desorden. Por eso, antes de anhelar abundancia, tienes que aprender a manejarla. No se trata de tener suerte, sino de tener un plan, porque el dinero no se queda donde hay improvisación. Se queda donde hay dirección, donde todo tiene un objetivo. Muchos confunden trabajar duro con tener enfoque. Se pasan más horas en la chamba. Se desgastan, se sacrifican sin parar, pero siguen estancados porque no están haciendo lo correcto. Piensan que la disciplina es solo tener fuerza de voluntad, pero la verdadera disciplina es sabiduría en acción. It's not just about getting up early, it's about knowing why you're getting up. It's not merely about saving money, it's about understanding the purpose behind it. It's not only about putting in the hours, it's about channeling your energy into what truly creates value. A person who spends their time without purpose just goes around in circles. On the other hand, someone who chooses to focus their energy on learning, creating, and solving problems starts to quietly build wealth. Because the market doesn't reward hard work, it rewards impact. That's the second unspoken rule of abundance. Money doesn't follow effort, it follows value. You could spend years grinding away, but if your actions don't lead to real change, you'll still feel like you're lacking. The person who moves forward is the one who becomes essential, who delivers more than expected, who solves problems better than anticipated. And when creating value becomes a habit, money can't help but notice you. Discipline isn't a prison, it's an art form. It's the art of bringing order to chaos, of giving structure to desire, of turning intention into consistent action. Libertad no se trata de hacer lo que te plazca, sino de aprender a controlarte cuando no tienes ganas de hacerlo. Muchos piensan que su problema es la falta de dinero, pero en realidad el dinero no es el inconveniente, es solo un reflejo. Muestra lo que haces, lo que aceptas y lo que repites. La verdadera cuestión está en los hábitos, porque lo que haces cada día es lo que estás entrenando para el resto de tu vida. Y aquí es donde entra la tercera ley de la abundancia. No se trata de cuánto ganas, sino de cuánto logras mantener. Puedes ganar 1000 y perder 100, o ganar 100 y conservar 20. La diferencia no está en la cantidad, sino en la conciencia. Cada billete que pasa por tus manos es un voto. Puedes optar por la impulsividad o por el futuro. Puedes elegir el placer inmediato o sembrar libertad a largo plazo. Ahorrar no es una obligación moral, es una afirmación de poder. Every time you choose to set aside a portion, no matter how small, you're showing your mind that you can delay gratification, and that, psychologically, makes you a stronger person. Abundance has to first pass through your mind before it can reach your wallet. Scarcity doesn't start in your bank account, it begins in your head. A person who tells themselves, "I can't," won't achieve anything and is essentially training themselves to fail. On the other hand, someone who says, "I'm going to learn to manage what I have," is already on the path to abundance. At its core, financial discipline isn't just about money, it's about self-trust. Each time you follow through on your commitment to save, track, or organize, you're quietly telling yourself, "I can rely on me." And that message changes everything. Life rewards those who can govern themselves. When you learn to manage your finances, you also learn to manage your emotions, your time, and your relationships. Financial discipline reflects the discipline you have in life. Financial chaos isn't just about a poorly managed budget. It's a scattered mind, a restless heart, a person without direction. But when you get your resources in order, you also bring clarity to your spirit. You stop running, stop fearing, and stop comparing yourself to others. You begin to move with intention, with tranquility, and with a quiet strength. Now, let's talk about the fourth principle. Money doesn't follow those who merely wish for it. It goes to those who truly deserve it. Not for moral reasons, but for logical ones. Abundance requires steady hands, a clear mind, and a calm heart. If you lack these, money will just pass you by, searching for someone who embodies them, because money is like water. It flows where there's a channel but evaporates in chaos. So before you ask for more, consider this. Are your habits a channel or a wasteland? Many people live like dry rivers, waiting for rain without digging a proper channel. They want abundance without a solid foundation, results without a process, and wealth without discipline. That's why when the rain finally comes, the water slips right through their fingers. Money amplifies everything. If you've got order in your life, it brings even more order. If you're dealing with chaos, it just leads to more confusion. That's why discipline should come before abundance. Because if wealth shows up before you've built your character, it often slips away. But when character comes first, the wealth sticks around. And everything kicks off from the little things. Don't spend what you don't have. Keep track of what comes in and what goes out. Always set aside a portion for savings. Steering clear of debt just for the sake of it might seem like small potatoes, but these are powerful practices. Each one sends a message to the universe saying, "I can take charge of my life." And that control shows up everywhere, in your job, your health, your sense of peace. Abundance doesn't follow talent, it follows balance. It doesn't chase after genius, it favors the consistent. While many are chasing money, the disciplined ones walk steadily, and money, sooner or later, catches up with them. I've seen plenty of guys sabotage their future, not because there weren't opportunities, but because they lacked control. Impulse is the quietest foe of abundance, because while the wise are busy building, the impulsive are squandering, and time, just like money, never comes back. Discipline isn't just about saying no to unnecessary spending. It's about saying yes to your purpose. Every penny wasted pulls you further away from your freedom. Every mindful choice brings you closer to it. And this is where the fifth law of abundance comes into play. Money doesn't heed wishes. It respects consistency. You can yearn to thrive with all your heart, but if your actions don't align, money won't pay attention. Not because it's unfair, but because it follows precise rules. It flows to those who live with structure, to those who prove through their actions that they can sustain it. Keep this in mind. Money isn't moral or spiritual, it's energetic. It doesn't differentiate between good and bad, only between order and chaos. That's why some people thrive even with little, while others sink despite having plenty. Abundance isn't about how much you have, but rather how well you can hold on to it and make it grow. Picture each coin as a seed. If you toss it into the soil of impulse, it withers away. But if you plant it in the rich ground of discipline, it thrives. So, before you chase after more income, ask yourself, how fertile is my ground? How consistent am I in my planting? The average person looks for shortcuts, tricks, quick promises, and schemes that save them from the hard work of being steady. But shortcuts always come with a cost. It creates the illusion of progress when, in reality, you haven't moved an inch. On the other hand, discipline doesn't promise speed. It promises longevity, and that longevity is worth more than any temporary gain. Look around you. You'll notice many folks earning more than you, yet living worse. Because true wealth isn't measured by what comes in, but by what stays. And what stays is only achieved through good habits. Saving is like training your patience, while investing is all about exercising your vision and control, showing off your maturity. Every time you decide to put something aside, you're building trust in yourself. Each time you choose to invest, you're paving the way for your future. When you resist a temptation, you're shaping your character, and over time, that character becomes your greatest asset. This is where the sixth law of abundance comes into play. It's not money that grants you freedom, it's mastering yourself. Because a person who can't control themselves will always be a slave, even if they have millions. On the flip side, someone who has self-control, even with little, will always feel free. It's not about hoarding wealth, it's about steering it. It's not about having more, it's about having a purpose. Money without a purpose just fades away, while money with a purpose grows. So when you think about your finances, don't just see it as a numbers game. Think of it as a spiritual workout. Each figure is a lesson in balance. Every expense is a test of self-discipline. Every investment is a leap of faith into what's to come. Because those who don't believe in their tomorrow tend to spend as if today is their last. On the other hand, those who have faith build with calmness, knowing that time will repay every act of discipline with interest. Money doesn't change you. It reveals who you really are. You don't become generous or selfish. It simply shows what you were all along. That's why external wealth can never surpass your internal wealth. I've seen folks lose their minds when they hit their first million, while others quietly grow their small gains with humility. The key difference isn't in the amount, it's in the mindset that holds it. And that disciplined, organized, clear mind is the foundation where everything else thrives. The seventh law of abundance states that wealth starts in your thoughts, not in your bank account. If you see yourself as lacking, you'll act out of fear. If you see yourself as deserving, you'll act with intention. And life, which always responds to the energy you put out, will give you more of who you are, not just what you ask for. That's why, before you start chasing external abundance, focus on nurturing your inner wealth. Talk less about cash and more about value, less about what you lack and more about what you can create, less about luck and more about purpose. Abundance isn't something you just declare, it's something you show. And when your entire life becomes an example of discipline, order, and consistency, money can't help but notice you. It's drawn to you like light at dawn because it sees its reflection in you. Then something beautiful happens. You're no longer working for money, you're working for a deeper purpose. You're not searching for stability, you radiate it. You don't have to chase after things anymore because everything that seemed external starts to flow towards you. Abundance doesn't come to rescue you, it comes to affirm that you've learned to stand on your own. There's a moment on this journey when everything becomes clearer, when you stop asking when the money will come and start questioning, am I living like someone who deserves it? Because true abundance isn't something you reach for, It's something you embody. When your life shows a sense of order, when your actions align consistently, and when your choices honor your words, then money no longer needs to prove itself. It recognizes you, and that, dear listener, is what sets apart the person who thrives from the one who merely gets by. One waits while the other takes action. One dreams of wealth while the other lives with discipline. Money, like everything precious in life, doesn't respond to please. It responds to consistency. It doesn't reward those who simply say they want it. It rewards those who show they can achieve it. The eighth law of abundance is straightforward. Wealth is a result of character, not just desire. And that character isn't built during moments of success, but in the quiet hours when no one sees you saving, when no one acknowledges your perseverance, when you stand firm while others give up. That's where your destiny is forged, because money is a delayed reflection of your discipline. What you reap today is what you planted months ago, and what you plant today will bloom when you least expect it. There aren't any quick results when it comes to building character. Real progress is so subtle that it can feel like it's not even there, but one day, without any fanfare, you'll notice it. You'll rise with a sense of calm. You'll know where your energy is headed, and you'll feel something far more precious than money itself. Inner control, that's true wealth. I've come to realize that abundance isn't about numbers. It's about tranquility. A person who is at peace with what they have will always draw in more, because peace is the most magnetic frequency in the universe. Anxiety pushes away, while calmness attracts. And that calmness can only be achieved through order. That's why the ninth principle of abundance is this: discipline is the highest form of self-love. When you choose to be disciplined, it's not out of obligation or fear. You do it out of respect for yourself, because you recognize that every conscious action is a promise kept to yourself. Those who respect themselves take care of themselves, and those who take care of themselves thrive. And that self-respect shows in everything you touch. Your time, your cash, your connections, your words, everything starts to revolve around one single concept. Charlie Munger is in charge of himself. So life, in turn, trusts you more, because just like money, it only offers abundance to those who know how to hold on to it. And once you figure out how to govern yourself, you no longer feel the need to control anyone else. You're not driven by the need for approval or fear anymore. Your sense of security doesn't hinge on your bank balance, but rather on your ability to stand your ground. When others crumble, that's what makes a person unstoppable. True success isn't about having more. It's about not losing yourself when you achieve it. That's the highest level of wealth. The alignment between who you are, what you do, and what you give. Look around you. The world is packed with folks chasing after money and lacking those who have learned to wait for it through order. Money isn't a hunter. It's a guest that only enters homes where there's space, clarity, and purpose. That's why, before you can welcome abundance into your life, you need to tidy up the chaos, the habits that drain your energy, the excuses that allow you to settle for less, and the inner voices that say, "I can't." Every thought of scarcity is like a rock in your path. Each act of discipline serves as a light that guides you, and over time, that path becomes clear, not because life magically transforms, but because you've changed. You've stopped chasing after money, and now money starts to come your way. That's the most genuine miracle there is, the one that happens within before it's visible on the outside. When you reach this stage, you realize that abundance was never a goal. It's a result of living with higher standards, keeping your promises even when no one is watching, and directing your time and soul into your work. Because in the end, money is just a reflection of the order that resides within you. A lot of guys keep on searching for tricks, workshops, hidden gems, and shortcuts. But the reality is pretty straightforward and a bit uncomfortable. You can't have abundance without discipline, and you can't have discipline without self-love. An undisciplined guy doesn't fail because he lacks talent. He fails because he doesn't respect himself. He lets himself down with excuses, breaks his own promises, and then blames the world for not believing in him. On the flip side, a disciplined guy becomes his own advocate. He doesn't crave applause. He knows that the commitment he has to his routines is worth more than any acknowledgement he could get. That's the quiet secret of those who thrive. I've met folks who started with almost nothing and built a solid future in just a few years, not because luck was on their side, but because they learned to stick to what was right, even when it was uncomfortable, slow, or lonely. Consistency is faith in action, and faith without discipline is just a fantasy. So, the 10th principle, the last and most crucial one, is this. Disciplina es como tener fe en acción. Cuando guardas dinero, aunque sea una cantidad pequeña, cuando trabajas en silencio, cuando decides aprender en vez de distraerte, cuando optas por no rendirte, le estás diciendo a la vida que confías en que lo que haces tiene un propósito. Y la vida siempre responde, no de inmediato, pero sí de manera inevitable, porque la abundancia no es solo cuestión de suerte, es una ley de causa y efecto. Cada hora bien aprovechada, cada centavo bien gastado, cada emoción bien gestionada es una causa, y la consecuencia natural de esa causa es la prosperidad. Tarde o temprano, todo orden recibe su recompensa. El problema es que muchos se rinden justo antes de ver los resultados. Quieren cosechar sin haber sembrado. Buscan reconocimiento sin haber aportado valor. Desean estabilidad sin haber practicado el control. Y así es como viven. Cansados, frustrados, endeudados, persiguiendo un espejismo. But true abundance isn't something you chase after. It's something you find by looking inward. Money follows value, and value comes from your character. And your character is built when you learn to say, I don't need everything to change. To kick things off, start with yourself. Begin with the little things. Use what you already have. Start today. Discipline doesn't require perfection. It just asks that you don't give up on yourself. Because every time you choose to follow through, even if no one notices, you become a bit stronger. That invisible growth, that self-mastery, is the real power that money merely confirms. Money amplifies who you are. If you're wise, it will make you even wiser. If you're chaotic, it will make you more chaotic. So before you ask for more, train your mind to handle what you desire. And when you do, abundance won't be a reward. It will be a reflection of your order, your peace, your purpose. Look within yourself. That's where the source lies. Porque cuando una persona se controla a sí misma, no hay nada que no pueda manejar. Ni la fortuna, ni la libertad, ni la propia existencia. Y entonces, solo entonces, te darás cuenta de que no eras tú quien iba tras el dinero, sino que durante todo este tiempo, la vida te estaba preparando para merecerlo. Y en ese momento, cierra los ojos por un segundo. Reflexiona sobre la historia que estás creando con tus hábitos, no con tus anhelos, sino con tus acciones. Esa historia es tu legado. Y si hoy decides vivir con disciplina, valorando tu tiempo y amando tu proceso, esa historia tendrá un final positivo. No porque el dinero te rescate, sino porque tú aprendiste a rescatarte a ti mismo. Porque la abundancia no se persigue, se atrae. Y se atrae cuando cada pequeño gesto de tu vida demuestra que estás listo para recibirla. Así que escríbelo, no para mí, sino para ti. Yo puedo controlarme, porque esa frase no es un objetivo, es el comienzo de toda prosperidad.